Never give women what they want. That is the topic of tonight's coaching video as we cruise along on the in the Lamborghini here, coming from a car show and driving home. So this might be a little shaky, but I thought it'd be cool to film to the Lambo while we're on the freeway. But that is the topic tonight, guys. Never give women what they want. Because anytime a woman is asking you to do something, it's usually in the form of a demand, okay? And it's usually something that she doesn't even care about. She's just trying to test your boundaries. She's just trying to see how much she can get away with, okay? So anytime like a woman is asking you to do something, most times it's just to test you. That's what I've found, right? Especially with women that I've dated. They'll be like, oh, I know you're always busy, but you know what? I appreciate a call in the morning and a good night text saying, I hope you had a wonderful day. You can at least do that. And I'm like, okay. That's a perfect example. Because that's not something you need. That's something you want. Okay? That is something you want. And that is a perfect example of her testing the boundary. Like, what can she get me to do? I've had a number of girls do that, by the way. That's why I'm using that as an example. Because I am a very busy business owner, entrepreneur, investor, Lamborghini owner. I really don't have time to be calling these girls left and right and like to be returning text messages. Like, I just don't have that time, right? This is why many times I take breaks from dating, right? Literally, I'm like not even dating anybody right now, and it's awesome. And I enjoy this peace, this freedom. It's awesome. I don't have to return calls. I don't have to return messages. You know, I don't have to worry about anybody guilting me or kind of shame me for not making time for them. It's been awesome. But I do miss going out. I like going to dinners with beautiful women. You know, when I have more energy and I get caught up on work, I'll jump back into the fray. It's not a problem. I will continue protecting my boundaries and being like, no, I'm not going to call you at night. I'm not going to call you during the, in the morning to say good morning, beautiful, or anything like that if I don't have time. If I have time to do it and I feel like doing it, sure. But if I don't feel like doing it and I don't have time, guess what? I'm not going to do it. And you know what? I wouldn't expect that of you either. If you're a busy person and you're, moving up your corporate ladder or whatever, I don't really date people like that, but say you're busy at your job and you don't have time to message me back, or if you're working on some project, that's okay. I'm not going to hassle you. I get it, right? We're busy. I don't want to pick on just women, because I've had guy friends do this to me too. Like, hey man, where you been? I haven't heard from you. Why are you dogging me? Why are you ignoring me like I'm a chick? I'm like, I'm not. Yeah, I'm working on something. I'm busy. And it's usually people who've never like dated a business owner or who has never been friends with a business owner or an entrepreneur, or even just a guy with ambition, a guy with a path and purpose. Like, I've noticed they tend to really like get offended if you don't call back right away. But the thing you have to understand, like, especially if you're a woman and you're dating a man who is high value or successful or a millionaire, we have better things to do than, all the blue pill work that you're used to from most of the simps that you date. Because a lot of these girls are used to dating like simps or even just guys with regular jobs. I just did a video about why I dumped literally 13 different women in the last decade until I found my girlfriend that I was with for 4 years. And I talked about in this video how the reason I dumped all 13 of them was for the same reason, was because none of them understood what it was like to date somebody who was busy, like somebody that has a business. They were just used to guys who had a regular schedule, no ambitions, right? Would come home in a certain time, always be available for dates, always be available to return their calls, and always be available, to be there for them. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to be me. I got to set some ground rules here. I'm not going to be returning your calls like that. There'll be days where you don't hear from me. And they'd be like, what? Days? What are you doing? Are you cheating? And I'm like, no, I'm working on stuff. As much as a lot of women cry about dating a successful like they want to date like a high value man or a man who makes like millions of dollars and all this stuff. I want to date a guy with a Lamborghini. Truth is, you wouldn't be able to handle it. You wouldn't be able to handle really the lack of attention you're going to get, a low priority that you're going to have in his life. You would not be able to handle this stuff because you're not used to it, right? Most guys, I would say like 99% of guys out there are going to make time for a hot girl. And I don't fault you for that. However, once you start leveling up in life, women are going to be like the lowest priority on the food chain. I even look back on my past and I kicked myself for the period in my life, which was supposed to be my adult life until I got red pill, where I prioritized women over everything and everyone. Like my girlfriend was my priority over my business. It was my priority over my animals. It was my priority over everything. I mean, myself, I prioritized her over myself. I would push my schedule aside for her, right? And I'm like, man, what am I doing? And that is something that I would not ever do these days, much less what I advise you to do. You know, coming from somebody who has done that, I would never want you to do that. This all ties back into why you should never give women what they want, right? Because, again, much of the time, it's just really her seeing how much she can get away with, seeing how much you'll put up with, seeing how long you'll keep your patience without firing back on her or without, you know, walking away. And for some reason, women love to do that. They really love to test guys, especially if she starts dating you. If it's still the beginning, she wants to know where your boundaries are. And that's all fair, because I've had guy friends do it too. And I've had to kind of check them as well. Like, hey, they tend to do that. But the thing with, like, at least guys is we will check each other, no problem. Because we don't want anything from each other, right? It's like, I don't want anything from you. I'm straight, you're straight. We can't really give each other anything. So, yeah, don't do that, right? But when it's with your girl or a woman that you like, yeah, you kind of let a lot of things slide that you shouldn't, right? You let a lot of things slide that you shouldn't because you don't want to lose her or you're trying to get laid, right? No. Just stick by the mantra of never giving women what they want, and you will be A-okay, man. Especially in your relationships. Depending on what it is, obviously, right, you want to use your brain, right? If you're like at the dinner table and she's asking you to hand her, like, you know, to pass the salt, it's not a big deal. Unless it's right in front of her. If it's right in front of her, she's like, can you hand me that salt? I'd be like, you got two hands? Grab it. Right? I'm not going to get that. In that case, it would be a test. So you have to use your brain. Understand when she's testing you and when she's just, you know, when it's reasonable, right? When it's reasonable. So that's all I'm going to say for tonight's posting video. As always, this M from the 33 Secrets signing out here in the Lambo. You guys wanted more car videos? You got more car videos. And we're even driving on the freeway as we shoot this. And don't worry, my car, I could see like right outside the... Some people are like, oh my gosh, keep your eyes on the road. Dude, this is a gigantic windshield in front of me. I can see the wide open road. I've got the top down. And, yeah, no worries. But as always, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Guys, smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button on your way out. And if you want to support my work, best way to support me, as always, is jump into 7 Months to Mastery. That is my online monthly coaching program where I teach you guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. Basically the type of women that myself and all my students are out there approaching and closing. A lot of my students have gotten married, have kids because of what they've learned in my programs, and I want you to have the same success that they have had. Okay, and I don't teach you how to go out there and pick up like damaged women, women over 30, single moms. No, I teach you how to get the cream of the crop, the youngest, hottest women out there, and you don't need dating apps to do this. You don't need Tinder. You don't need Bumble. I teach you how to go out there old school. I'm talking old school and cold approach pick up women, which has become a lost art form. Picking up women has become a lost art. Crazy to me how women are just so like shell-shocked when you cold approach them these days. It really is so awesome to see this. Just like so few guys have this skill, and then see the women's reaction like, wow, this guy, you're actually talking to me? Well, so it's nice. It's nice to be able to do. But I will teach you how to do this in 7 months of mastery. I'm one of the best in the world, so it's not like you're going to be learning from some AFC chump with no experience or some 22-year-old fresh out of college who's never done this before. You're learning from one of the best in the world, one of the oldest guys still doing this. If not the oldest guy still doing this. Me and Mystery are the same age, so I think I'm a year older than him, actually. But in any case, you're learning from the best, and it's the best way to support my work, and you're going to gain a ton of value out of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box, and it will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Take advantage of it. Just takes 2 seconds, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. I'm out.